Hey guys, it's Coach Sharf. Welcome back to my notes videos. In particular, this is the third video, part 3, part C, whatever you want to say, on the factor and polynomials packet. Again, hopefully you've watched the first two if you needed to. Even if you didn't need the background notes on the first video, the second video are the first 3 of the 7 problems that y'all gonna have to turn in for your homework. And this video is going to be the last 4. So we're just going to jump right in. And again, if you've watched the other videos, you should hopefully have a good idea of what we're doing now. So I'm going to go a little faster while I go through these problems. And I'm going to try to knock this out in about 20 minutes or so. So let's get started. So this was, I should have left there. I was where I finished on the last video. So now we're coming down to number 6. So you can write number 6, then you can write A in this polynomial and just continue it from there, which I'll get to in a second. But it says what happens when we come to a function that's a 4th degree. So we've already talked about some. All it means is if you have a larger polynomial, you're just going to have to do synthetic division more than once successfully and do it until you break down your polynomial to a quadratic. So, with a 4th degree, a quartic function, we're just doing synthetic. We got to do synthetic division one more time. So twice total. With a quintic function, which are going to be part C and D, we're going to have to do it 3 times. So there's a couple other small differences, which I'll talk about as we get through this. But we're starting here with A. So we got x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus 9x squared minus 2x plus 8. Rational root theorem, possible rational roots. A is P, Q is above the invisible 1. So as we said on the last video, you don't have to do, when Q is 1, you don't have to do the P, the Q, and then the P divided by Q. Because since Q is 1, all my P's are going to be divided by 1, and I'm just going to get the same numbers down there anyway. So you don't have to do that. You can just jump straight to P divided by Q. And so it's all my factors of 8, plus or minus 1, 2, 4, and 8. There's that. So for synthetic, again, synthetic doesn't change. So we just got to take our coefficients and constant here. Again, it's going to be one term longer. Start with positive 1 and just go. So I'm going to have 1x to the 4th, 2x cubed, negative 9x squared, negative 2x, positive 8, L, a little crooked there, I realize that, box, start with positive 1. Again, I'm just gonna motor through it kind of quick, so follow along, catch up, go back and repeat if you need to. First one, as always, comes down. Blue 1 times red 1 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Blue 3 times red 1 is 3. Negative 9 and 3 is negative 6. Blue negative 6 times red 1 is negative 6. Negative 2 and negative 6 is negative 8. Blue negative 8 times red 1 is still negative 8. And 8 minus 8 is 0. All right. So our synthetic worked the first time. Okay. So 1 is my first root. My first factor is x minus 1. So again, if you know, since you have x to the 4th, you're going to have to divide it twice. Hopefully you know that, or you listen to what I said where I told you have to divide it twice. If not, when you go to label these, this is your remainder. This is your constant, negative 6x to the 1st, 3x squared, x cubed. You're going to say, oh, wait, all I did was bring it down to a cubic. I didn't bring it down to a quadratic, so I got to do it again. So again, the remainder's cut off. It's 0. It's not going to do anything. So I take 1, 3, negative 6, negative 8. And those are the numbers I continue forward with trying synthetic division. So here's, again, one of the other little tweaks on this, okay? Just because I used 1 here and it worked, doesn't mean I used it up and I can't use it again, all right? You know, there's no reason why I can't multiply this by x minus 1 a second time, okay? That's definitely possible. So I've got to try positive 1 again, okay? Because it's possible. If, you know, the first time I had done it, if positive 1 hadn't worked, negative 1 hadn't worked, let's say the first number I got that worked to do synthetic division was positive 2. Then when I came to do it the second time, you don't have to go back and try positive 1 again. If it didn't work the first time, it's not going to work, period. So, you know, if I had waited until 2, you know, if 1 hadn't worked, negative 1 hadn't worked, 2 worked to get here, I don't have to go back here and try 1 again and negative 1 again. I know they're not going to work. So I would just try 2 again and go forward from there. You know, again, same thing with the 1, you know, just because I used it once doesn't mean I can't use it again, like I said. So again, we'll quickly go through this. 1 drops down, green 1 times red 1 is 1. 3 and 1 is 4. Green 4 times red 1 is 4. Negative 6 and 4 is negative 2. Green 2 times red negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 8 and negative 2 is negative 10. So we did not get a remainder of 0. So you can kind of slash through that, okay? So we got to try it again. And again, we're going to use, we don't go back. Even though this didn't work, doesn't mean we go back to 1, 2, negative 9, negative 2, and 8. We still use 1, 3, negative 6, negative 8. But now we got to use negative 1. Okay, positive 1 didn't work. Now we use negative 1. 1 drops down. Green 1 times red negative 1 is negative 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. Green 2 times red negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 6 and negative 2 is negative 8. Green negative 8 times red negative 1 is positive 8. And negative 8 and positive 8 is 0. All right, so this time I did get a remainder of 0. All right. So what this means now is negative 1 is my second root. Okay, so x plus 1 is my factor. Again, opposite sign. I go to label these. So this is going to be constant, x to the first, x squared. So I'm going to get 1x squared plus 2x minus 8. I see if I can factor it. What can I multiply to get 8? It adds or subtracts to give me 2. That will be 4 and 2. I got to get negative 8. So one of these has to be negative when I multiply them. So I know that. And then to get positive 2, am I going to do 4 minus 2 or 2 minus 4? I'm going to do positive 4 minus 2. So there's my last two factors. Again, you don't have to write them in order. You can leave it as x plus 4 times x minus 2. Again, presuming that all these multiplied together is still set equal to 0. Here's our positive 1. Here's our negative 1. What cancels out positive 4 is negative 4. What cancels out negative 2 is positive 2. So negative 4, positive 2 are my last two roots. And again, if you're just writing this on your notebook paper, write real. And I know I ran out of room. Rational next to all four of these numbers. If you have the packet, you don't even need to circle them individually. You can just do that. Because again, there's no i's. So I know they're all real. And rational or irrational, they're all, whole numbers, integers. So they're rational. All right. Again, I'm going to pause it for about 10 seconds here. Make sure you got it. And I'm going to move on to B. Like I said, guys, moving a little more quickly on this one. I was shooting for 3:30. So I got to wrap up and go to baseball practice. Might try to go till 3:35. I really don't want to have to cut it off and do one more video just for the sake of doing that. But we'll see. All right. I hope you got it. If not, go back and rewind it about 8 seconds and pause it. All right. Going down to B. All right. You can write B, possible rational roots. 12 is P, Q is invisible one next to 4. So again, I can just skip straight to P over Q. What are my factors? 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So trying to do this in my head, I believe this one, I'm gonna have to do synthetic 3 times if I remember right from the packet. So again, just diving headlong in. Okay, we got 1, negative 11, negative 13, 11, 12. 1x to the 4th, negative 11x cubed, negative 13x squared, 11x, 12. Box. Again, green positive 1, that's what we'll start with. 1 comes down. Blue 1 times green 1 is 1. Negative 11 and 1 is negative 10. Negative 10 times green 1 is negative 10. Negative 13 and negative 10 is negative 23. Blue negative 23 times green 1 is negative 23. 11 and negative 23 is negative 12. Blue negative 12 times green 1 is still negative 12. 12 minus 12 is indeed 0. All right. So 1 is my first root. Again, opposite sign for the factor, x minus 1. Again, label it if you need to, but this is only the first time. This is still x cubed, so got to keep going with the numbers I got. Negative 10, negative 23, negative 12. L, box. We'll try positive 1 again, just to make sure it doesn't work, because it might. All right, 1 drops. Red 1 times green 1 is 1. Negative 10 and 1 is negative 9. Negative 9 times green 1 is negative 9. Negative 23 and negative 9 is negative 32. Now, at this point, you might be able to recognize that this isn't going to work, okay? Knowing what you're multiplying by and knowing that we have 1 number left, okay? So if you can kind of recognize that, you can stop there. If you don't really see it, or you're just in a, in the flow, in the mood, going, keep going. Negative 32 times 1 is negative 32. Negative 12 and negative 32 is negative 44. Definitely not 0. So on that one. All right. So let's try it again. 1, negative 10. Negative 23, negative 12, box. Again, let us switch to negative 1. All right. Drop 1, red 1 times green 1 is negative 1. Negative 10 and negative 1 is negative 11. Negative 11 times green negative 1 is positive 11. Negative 23 and 11 is negative 12. Negative 12 times green negative 1 is positive 12. Negative 12 and positive 12 cancel out to give me 0. Bang, 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 ding, ding, ding. All right, so negative 1 is my second root. X plus 1, excuse me, is my second factor. All right. Remainder, constant, x to the first, x squared. So I have divided x to the 4th minus 11x cubed minus 13x squared plus 11x plus 12 by x minus 1 and x plus 1, and I'm left with x squared minus 11x minus 12. So let's see if I can factor this. What can I multiply to get 12? The add or subtract to give me 11 would be did this right? Losing my mind, guys. Yeah. It'll be 12 and 1. So what's going to give me negative 11? 12 minus 1 or 1 minus 12? would be 1 minus 12. So here's my last two factors. I'm going to rewrite it because I got x plus 1 again. Again, I can have x plus 1 twice. That's fine. X minus 12. Again, if we said it's all equal to 0, got 1, negative 1, negative 1, 12. So negative 1 and 12 are my third and fourth roots. Again, they are all real and all rational. So you can write real and rational next to all of them. All right. So there's B. Again, I'll wait about 10 seconds. You can pause it at this point to make sure you got everything down. We'll go on to C. Classmates, send me something right here. All right. Feel like I'm pushing myself to get done in 8 minutes. All right. C. Now we got x to the fifth. Okay. Now we've got x to the fifth. So possible rational roots P and Q again. Since this is 1, I'll just go straight to P over Q. Plus or minus 1, 2, 3, 8. What am I doing? I'm jumping way ahead. My bad. 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. All right, show you synthetic division again. This is going to be a little longer, just being forewarned. Okay. So all right. I'm not even going to switch colors at this point because that's taking up time too. So I'm just going to go at this point, guys. And again, I hope you can follow along. 1, negative 12x to the fourth, 49x cubed. Negative 90x squared, 76x, negative 24. I'm going to start with positive 1. Drop the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Negative 12 and 1 is negative 11. Negative 11 times 1 is negative 11. 49 minus 11 is 38. 38 times 1 is 38. Negative 90 and 38 is negative 52. Negative 52 times 1 is negative 52. 76 minus 52 is 24. 24 times 1 is 24. Negative 24 and positive 24 is 0. I will change colors for this. Means 1 is my root. X minus 1 is my factor. All right. Again, it's x to the fifth, so I got to do it 3 successful times. So I got to try 1 again. Okay. 1, negative 11, 38, negative 52, 24. I don't know if y'all can hear that dinging. My Apple Watch is blowing up. I'm going to try 1 again. Okay. I'm going to try 1 again. Drop the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Negative 11 and 1 is negative 10. Negative 10 times 1 is negative 10. 38 minus 10 is 28. 28 times 1 is 28. Negative 52 and 28 is negative 24. Negative 24 times 1 is negative 24. 24 minus 24 is 0. So 1 worked again. All right, x minus 1. So now we got down to 1, negative 10, 28, negative 24. Let's try 1 a third time. Drop the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Negative 10 and 1 is negative 9. Negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. 28 minus 9 is 19. Again, this might be a point where you can tell this isn't going to work, but keep going if you need to. 1 times 19 is 19. Negative 24 and 19 is negative 5. All right, so that one didn't work. Thought we might be getting all 1s there for a second. All right, so 1 didn't work. Let's try it again with negative 1. All right. Negative 1. Drop the 1. 1 times -1 is -1. -10, -1 is -11. -11 times -1 is +11. 28 and 11 is 39. Again, you might be able to tell it's not going to work at this point. Keep going. 39 times -1 is -39. -30, 24, and -39 is -63. So that's a big heck no. Try it a third time. We're going to go to 2. Okay. Again, kind of running out of room here. Hope y'all left plenty of room on your paper. All right, drop the 1. 1 times 2 is 2. -10 and 2 is -8. -8 times 2 is -16. 28 minus 16 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. -24 and +24. Let's make that box a little bigger. Is 0. So that worked. So that means 2 is my third root. X minus 2 is my third factor. Label this remainder. Constant, x to the first, x squared gives me, I know I'm running out of room down here, x squared minus 8x plus 12. So I actually have a positive here. What can I multiply to get 12 that adds or subtracts to give me 8? It's going to be 6 and 2. Since 12 is positive, 6 and 2 have to have the same sign. Since 8 is negative, it means they're both negative. So I have another x minus 2 and an x minus 6. So there's all my factors, x minus 1, x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 2, x minus 6. My roots, 1, 1, 2, 2, 6. So we got 1, 1, 2, 2 and 6 for the last ones. And again, all of these are real and rational. All right. Last problem we're going to try to do. Not try to do, but we're going to do. D. So again, in the interest of time in this video, we're looking at D. Our possible rational roots. In the interest of time, I said we're going to skip a little bit, but y'all see what I mean in a sec. If you don't remember from class, there's P, there's Q. Excuse me, again, since this is 1, I can just go straight P over Q. Factors of 16. 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. So in the interest of time, I would try 1, -5, 8, -8, 16, -16. Try it with +1, doesn't work. Try it with -1, it doesn't work. But it's going to work with 2, and it's actually going to work with 2 3 times. All right, so there's my synthetic. Put 2 on the outside, and then we're just going to go. Drop the 1. 1 times 2, 2. -5 and 2, -3. -3 times 2, -6. 8 minus 6, 2. 2 times 2, 4. -8 and 4, -4. -4 times 2, -8. 16 minus 8, 8. 8 times 2, 16. -16 and 16, 0. So I got a root of 1, I got a root of 2, and x minus 2. 1, -3, 2, -4, 8. Take those. Keep going. 1, -3, 2, -4, 8 L box, gonna use 2 again. Drop the 1, 1 times 2, 2. -3 and 2, -1. -1 times 2, -2. 2 minus 2 is 0. I think some of y'all froze here in class. It's okay that this is 0. Again, I'm only concerned about my remainder being 0. If this is 0, just keep going. 0 times 2, 0. -4 and 0, -4. -4 times 2, -8. 8 minus 8, 0. All right, so 2 worked a second time. Okay. 1, -1, 0, -4. We're actually going to use 2 a third time. L box 2. Drop the 1. 1 times 2, 2. -1 and 2, 1. 1 times 2, 2. 0 and 2, 2. 2 times 2, 4. -4 and 4 cancel out to give me 0. So there's my third. X minus 2, third root of 2. Remainder, constant, x to the first, x squared. So I'm left with x squared plus x plus 2. The unfortunate thing with this one is this is the first time we're not going to be able to factor. If this was x squared plus 3x plus 2, I could factor it. X plus 1 times x plus 2. If this 2 is negative, or both signs were negative, I could factor it. It would either be x plus 1 times x minus 2 or x plus 2 times x minus 1, depending on which one you had. But with it like this, I can't factor that. So I got to use the quadratic formula. First time, only time in the packet. A is 1, B is 1, C is 2. A, B, C. Go ahead and jump into the quadratic formula. So -1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times 2 all over 2 times 1. -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Quick mental math here again because I'm running out of room. -1 is -1. 1 squared is 1. -4 times 1 times 2 is -8. 1 minus 8 is -7. So I've got the square root of -7 left. 2 times 1 is 2. Now for the square root of -7. That's that negative square root talked about back at the beginning of the year. So I know it's going to be an imaginary number. Break it up. Negative square root of 1. Square root of -1, excuse me, times square root of 7. Square root of -1 is I. 7, I can't do a factor tree, so it's just going to stay the square root of 7. So this is -1 plus or minus I square root 7 over 2. So my last two roots are going to be -1 plus I square root 7 over 2. And then -1 minus I square root 7 over 2. The 3's are all rational and real. And the last two are both going to actually be imaginary because they have the I in them. All right. I got done about a minute spare. So again, I'll leave this for about 10 seconds just to make sure you got it. I know I flew through that last one real fast. Oh, I forgot something. Coach Shaw forgot something. Since I couldn't factor this for my complete factorization, I'm just going to throw that on in. X squared plus x plus 2. So you just throw that on the end. All right. Now, I'll leave it for about 10 seconds. Make sure you got it. Again, shouldn't have to say it, but pause it if you need it. 3, 2, 1. All right, stop share. So those are your 3 videos. Again, obviously you're seeing them after the fact. I'm going to get them up shortly. All the links will be in Canvas. Use them to get your studying done. Use them to get those problems because, again, those problems I'm going to make you take pictures of and turn in some point next week, maybe early the week after that. Yeah, so we're done. See you later, guys.